Analysis paralysis is the execution killer that wears a mask of diligence, but it's actually just a form of fear. If you wait for 100% certainty before taking action, you have already launched too late. Today, you'll learn the 70% rule to make high-quality decisions at lightning speed. We have all been there, sitting in meetings, endlessly refining a strategy while the market moves on without us. This is the execution gap, the chasm between having a brilliant idea and seeing actual results. The reality is that ideas are abundant and worth very little on their own. It is the execution that counts. To close this gap, you need the 70% rule. This rule, used by military strategists and top CEOs, states that once you have 70% of the information you think you need, it's time to act. The remaining 30% of clarity only comes from doing, not from more research. Why? Because action is a data-generating machine. You can theorize all day about how customers will react to a new feature, but the only way to truly know is to launch it and see. The market gives you feedback that no amount of internal debate ever could. So, if you're stuck in a planning loop, ask yourself, what information can I only get by moving forward? The beauty of the 70% rule is its balance between informed decision-making and decisive action. Waiting for 100% of the information is a recipe for obsolescence. By the time you have every single detail, your competitors have already captured the market, or the opportunity has vanished. Acting with 70% of the data isn't about being reckless. It's about being realistic. It acknowledges that perfect information is a myth. The final 30% is often filled with diminishing returns, where each additional piece of data you gather provides less and less value, but costs you more and more time. Think about it. Have you ever spent weeks on a decision, only to end up going with your initial gut feeling anyway? That's wasted time. Speed is a strategic advantage. Making a good decision today is almost always better than making a perfect decision next month. The key is to gather enough information to make an informed choice, then trust that you can adapt and adjust as you go. To really master this, we need to borrow a powerful mental model from Jeff Bezos, the concept of one-way versus two-way doors. Imagine every decision is a door. A two-way door is a reversible decision. If you walk through and don't like what you see, you can easily walk back out. Most decisions in business and life are two-way doors. Trying a new marketing channel, testing a different pricing model, or reorganizing a small team. For these, you should act fast. The cost of a mistake is low, and you learn a lot from the experience. A one-way door, however, is irreversible. Once you go through, you can't come back. These are the big, consequential decisions: selling your company, making a massive capital investment, or launching a flagship product you can't easily recall. These require slow, careful deliberation. Now, pause for a second. Is the decision you are struggling with right now reversible, or is it a one-way door? Most of the time, we treat two-way doors like one-way doors, and that's what paralyzes us. By correctly identifying the type of door, you give yourself permission to move faster on the things that don't carry catastrophic risk. So, you've decided to act. But action can feel like a huge, intimidating word. That's where minimum viable action comes in. The goal here isn't to solve the entire problem at once. It's simply to break the inertia. What is the absolute smallest step you can take right now to move forward? If you want to start a podcast, don't worry about buying the best microphone or designing a logo. Your minimum viable action might be just recording a 1-minute test audio on your phone. If you want to build an app, don't start by writing the business plan. Maybe just sketch out the main screen on a piece of paper. This tiny step does two powerful things. First, it kills procrastination by making the task seem ridiculously easy. Second, it starts the feedback loop. That 1-minute audio might tell you that your room is too echoey. That simple sketch might reveal a flaw in your user flow. This is real information you didn't have before. Action, even minimal action, creates momentum. What's one small thing you can do in the next 10 minutes that will move your biggest project forward, even by just 1%? Now that we have momentum, we need a system to sustain it. This is where implementation intentions come in. It's a simple but incredibly effective psychological trick for turning good intentions into actual behavior. The formula is, if X happens, then I will do Y. You're creating a pre-programmed trigger for your future self. Instead of vaguely saying, I'll work on the project tomorrow, you create a specific plan. If it's 9 a.m. tomorrow, then I will open the document and write for 25 minutes. This removes the need for in-the-moment decision-making and willpower. You've already decided what to do. You can apply this to anything. If a customer gives negative feedback, then I will thank them and ask for more details. Or, if I find myself endlessly researching competitors, then I will close the browser and list 3 action items. This if-then framework turns your environment into a series of cues that automatically trigger productive actions, making execution your default state. But what about those times when you only have 50% or even 40% of the data? This is when you need to calibrate your intuition. Intuition isn't magic, it's pattern recognition. Your brain is a supercomputer that has been subconsciously logging patterns from every experience you've ever had. When you face a new problem with incomplete data, your intuition tries to match it to a known pattern. The key is to calibrate it by actively reflecting on your past decisions. Take a moment each week to review your choices. When did your gut feeling lead you right? When did it lead you astray? What were the circumstances? By doing this, you're not just relying on a vague feeling. You're training your internal pattern recognition engine. You can also borrow patterns from others. Read biographies, study business case studies, and talk to mentors who have faced similar challenges. This expands your mental library of patterns, allowing you to make smarter, more intuitive leaps when the data just isn't there. Your intuition becomes a reliable co-pilot, helping you navigate the uncertainty that comes with moving fast. So let's bring it all together. First, you escape the planning trap by understanding that action creates irreplaceable information. Second, you embrace the 70% rule, making a decision once you have enough data to proceed, not perfect data. Third, you categorize decisions as one-way or two-way doors, giving yourself permission to be fast on reversible choices. Fourth, you break inertia with a minimum viable action, the smallest possible step to get moving. Fifth, you automate your follow-through with if-then implementation intentions. And finally, you sharpen your intuition through reflection and learning, so you can make smart calls even with incomplete information. This isn't just a set of tips, it's a complete system for turning ideas into reality, faster than you ever thought possible. Like this video if you're committing to taking one action today. And if you want more systems to help you think clearer and execute faster, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.